Well, hello again, friends. Welcome to another episode of Juan on One Coaching, where we believe we not only have the right to control our lives, we deserve to create them. This is episode 16. It's kind of hard to believe I actually have stuck with recording this every single day for 16 days. It's not that long, but still long for me. So thank you for listening. If you are, if this is your first episode, welcome. And so today we're talking about still something related to chapter 2 of the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And it's related to part of my journey of going from here to there, in a sense, from being fired once and being depressed and doubting my life to being fired again by the same department and be happy about it because I had constructed a life more in alignment with who I wanted to be. And chapter 2 of the book is the law of awareness. You must know yourself to grow yourself. And today, I just wanted to share the these six questions or keywords that I went through to become aware of what I was doing, to really analyze my job in a sense, and then decide if I wanted to do something else, and what was the path to get there, and things like that. And this is from, I think it starts on page 20 of the book. If you have it, if you don't worry about it. Um, but let's just go at it. The goal here, that what I've been touching on with these different episodes, the 16 episodes so far, is the idea of starting to create a life that's in alignment with who you are. You're supposed to find yourself. You're supposed to discover your voice, find your message, become intentional about what you're doing. And most of the times we're at work, and sometimes that may not necessarily be something we're truly passionate about. So these are the kind of the questions that the book gives us to work through that. So the first question is, do you like what you're doing now? Do you like what you're doing now? And if you don't, then why the hell are you doing it? That's technically the question. And the key word here is awareness. This is for you to become aware. This is what I had to do to become aware of as to whether I liked what I was doing. I was an actuary at the moment, and I had to really explore whether I was really liking it. And my answer was that I liked it in the beginning, but at the point of my first firing, I was really not sure about it. I like certain aspects of it, but not all of it. And that's the part, that's what where this question comes into play. Do you like what you're doing now? And if you don't like it, and why you're doing it? Try to identify those things. What is it that you like about it? What do you dislike? What are the things that you really get excited about and you really go to work because that's what gets you there? For me, it was people. For me, it was developing others, explaining and helping others understand what I was doing so they could do it themselves. Thus, I was really getting more into the development of things and not necessarily the number crunching, as we say in the actuarial profession. I just didn't engage with the number crunching and the projections and things like that. So that's question number one. Question number two is, what would you like or want to do? And this is about passion. Putting your current situation aside, give yourself permission to explore and play with the idea of, if you had a magic wand that could give you anything you wanted, in this case, a life that truly has you feel fulfilled, um, what is it that you would want to do? What would you desire to do? What would that look like? What is the profession? Who would you be working with? Where would you be living? What type of car would you have? What type of clothing? And this is not about going all like trying to live the life of the rich people. This is just more really what really comes to your mind. Maybe, yeah, if it means that you absolutely want to be rich doing something, um, by all means go ahead. But this is not about that type of imagery. It's about you really figuring out what would you absolutely like to do, even if you weren't making as much money as people say you should do. I mean, that could be another way to ask that. So that's question number 2. Question number 3 is about being realistic, and it's about, can you do what you would like or want to do? Can you do this thing that you aspire to do? And it's not about, could you do it right now necessarily. You could. It's also about you believing whether you can learn how to do it, which it's in alignment with some of the questions that come later. But this idea of realistic is not about looking at your past and then making a decision that is not realistic for you to become the CEO of some company, or because you never played an instrument, you could never be a professional musician or something like that. I'm using these examples, probably not as good, but this goes into, do you have the potential, the capability to learn these things? Do you have transferable skills that right now that you could use for that thing that you want to do? That's what you want to be thinking about here. Realistic is, it's kind of relative in a sense, but that's a different lesson for a different day. And so question number 4 is, do you know people who do it? Do you know people who do the thing that you desire and that you're passionate about doing? The key word here is mentorship, finding mentors. Let's say that in the prior question, can you do what you want to do? The answer is technically no. Well, here's a solution. Who do you know, or who could you know that does what you want to do? So you can ask them to teach you. You can ask them to mentor you, and you can learn from them and start learning the skills that will get you to be able to do what you want to do. All right, question number 5. This one is, would you pay the price to do it? This is about willingness, and when it says price, it's not just money, it's time, effort, energy, sweat, and tears. You want to be thinking about, do you want it enough to pay whatever the price might be? My mentor John Maxwell says, what is the phrase? I believe it's every great thing is uphill. Every great thing is uphill. Significance is uphill. It's always going to be an uphill journey. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get more challenging, because the more you progress through your success, the more responsibilities you have. And it's not really that you pay the price once. You're going to have to keep paying it. It's almost like a perpetual annuity. You will have to pay rent every single time. And that's with sweat, money, tears, effort, and all these other things that you could, maybe friends or family, you just don't know. But are you willing? Are you willing to pay the price to do it? And last one, number 6, is, when can you start doing it? This is about timing. Timing is the key word. Most likely the answer you have for that is, I don't have any time, or I don't know. And this is not about, the question doesn't say, when can you start doing it perfectly? The question simply says, when can you start doing it? And doing it could mean just simply researching, or defining what you want, or identifying your mentors, or identifying transferable skills. It doesn't have to be a full-blown plan as to how you're going to get there. You could simply start by saying, okay, if I were to choose what I want to do and who I want to learn it from, what would that be? And what are some of the characteristics of it? That's what this question talks about. And it really, when the answer to when is really now. You can start right now, just pen and paper, or pencil on paper, whatever you want, and start writing down the description of what you would love to do. And that's all it takes. When can you start? It doesn't really matter. You give yourself a date to simply force your brain and mind to focus on that deadline, just like any other work deadline that you might have. Give yourself a deadline to start, and start just means what is the tiniest step you can do to get closer to where you want to go. So those are the things, the 6 things that you want to be looking into: awareness, passion, realism, mentoring, willingness, and timing. That's it for today. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you on the next one. So yeah, bye.